we'll go ahead and move on over to XU4 updates. The TheRA Themes repo has been updated with the randomizer. And now, unless mistaken, the TheRA Themes repo is going to have roughly, I believe, somewhere in the ballpark or vicinity of 400 themes altogether. And then we have our close to 24 independent themes. So people should be able to be pretty happy with when it comes to themes. One of the things that some people that are new to the community, especially those coming over from RetroPie, is they ask what happened to the RetroPie theme repo. Well, we made the decision to actually pull it out of our distribution, and really the biggest reason for that is that the bulk of the themes that RetroPie has, they don't operate on the same basis that we do, in that we feel that if we're going to make a theme available, it has to actually support every single system that our builds are able to handle. You know, so for example, a lot of people really like Carbon, which is the default theme for RetroPie. Well, Carbon hasn't been updated in eons, and therefore is missing a lot of systems, and there hasn't been a themer out there that has been willing to step up and actually even update it completely to work properly for RetroPie, let alone, for example, our build. So, you know, people are more than happy to go ahead and install them manually on their build if they want. The idea is very, very similar to using standard RetroPie, since it is using Emulation Station, and that information is readily available online on the internet. So, you know, that's just something that people can do on their own. Um, we actually have a theme that's been provided that is kind of similar to Tronky Fran, and that is called Dead Simple, I believe. And actually, let's go ahead and take a look at getting that. I'll see about installing it manually myself so we can go ahead and show you guys. Anyway, enough babbling and waffling on. So now go into UE settings, and now you'll be able to see that theme that I was discussing, which is called Dead Simple. And we'll go ahead and switch over to it. So here it is. And of course, we only have so many systems on here, but it's a nice, nice looking system. It's nice and clean. Did a really nice job with it. So this is actually on the repo already. You can do a setup script update, then go into the themes. You'll be able to see that. So it's definitely a nice addition, and we are very appreciative that the community member took the time to go ahead and actually put this thing together. So that's super cool. So actually, while we're still talking, then I'll go ahead and fire up another game. And getting back once again to XU4 updates, we are actually testing a new USB transfer method. And so one of the things we've done through the updates is we actually, when we moved over to version 3, we removed the RetroPie way of plugging in a USB key and doing the transfers that way. We actually noticed that there were some problems every so often. Things are tooled specifically to their build, their base operating system, Raspbian. And then also you just had no idea when it was done copying. So we didn't really care for that, and we removed it. However, we have had some users in the community ask that we take a look at figuring out something or reintroducing it. So we are working on a new method that we have custom coded ourselves, and we're going to be testing that internally here soon. And as long as we feel as if we are good to go, then we will go ahead and push that out to the public. Let's see. So, you know what? I've actually never played this game. Alright, so yeah, back on task here. There is a new port that has been recently added, and that was provided by one of our community members, Keg, in our Discord. Go ahead and leave him anonymous on what his actual real name is. He's on our Facebook group, and he's actually also responsible for a lot of the coding and efforts that happen with the screen for the N64 case. So he's definitely been an asset to the community for sure, and we're very appreciative of what he's been willing to share with us. And as I said, one of the latest things he's shared with us is Reminiscence, which it's a flashback port and is available via the setup update. So if you've noticed, or if you've been part of the community since we dropped version 3.0.3, you know, a few weeks later, actually, I think it was like a month later, we updated to the base image being 3.0.6 or 3.0.6b. Some people mistakenly thought that that meant it was a beta. It, however, is not a beta. It's just that we found some issues with the 3.0.6, and just for continuity's sake, for us to be able to track, you know, it ended up being B. So, let me see here. I'm not even getting anywhere on this thing. Let me see here. Yeah. Check out another game. All right, so talking about that with the new base image, we are working on a new one that'll be caught up in recent as of mid-May 2019. After I get some work done with it and get it into the rest of the team, or excuse me, out to the rest of the team for internal testers. Wow, why does this ROM not want to work? All right, well, looks like I kind of went a little bit bummed up on that one. So the last bit that we're going to go ahead and talk about here is plans for our website. So if you go to our website right now, you know, you'll see, or you should see, that we've got a pretty basic support systems chart of sorts. I am getting prepared to drop out to the public or update to the web page and add in a much more detailed look, and that's going to include a list of required BIOS, and then whether or not it's controller or keyboard or both, if it's keyboard only, etc. And so we're really hoping that the community finds that to be of value. It has been something that's kind of been requested here previously. And wow, I suppose I shouldn't really be playing and trying to talk about this stuff at the same time, because I'm just getting lambasted here. Go ahead and kick back out and find out what else I can possibly embarrass myself with. Oh, we'll go ahead and swing back over to, oh wait, actually. Game Boy. Some Adventure Island 2. Here we go. So, look for that to come here, hopefully in the not too distant future. We're also discussing a concept, because there's been some folks in the community that have been pretty confused regarding, like, let's say they download 3.0.6b, and they're like, hey, what am I supposed to do to get myself up to date? So we're going to be working on providing, and possibly through the website, actually a kind of like a changelog page. So as an example, when we drop this new update, let's say that it's going to be 3.0.12, and 2 months from now, we go in and we have some other updates available, etc., or there's been some big pushes. Rather than going to our GitHub, which I guess some people find that to be a little bit confusing, to check this stuff out, they'll be able to go to a web page built on our site for each one of the boards. Obviously, the reason why we say each one of the boards is because we're in betas for the N2 and the Rock Pro 64. So essentially, we've still got to get that stuff figured out. Why am I not being... There we go. Alright, cool. So anyway, and that was horrible death right off the bat. So look for that possibly to be coming in over the next several weeks as well, and hopefully that will be helpful for people, because then they'll be able to take a look, like I said, as like right now, let's say you're still running 3.0.3, you haven't come to your build on your XU4 really, you played around with it for the first couple weeks, and now 4 months have gone by. You'll be able to go and take a look at that change log and kind of step through and make the updates that you see in there that you would like to do. Because one of the things, we always tell you to do is be sure that you... Wow, I'm just completely... I gotta maintain focus here on both things at once. Man, I can't get over this stupid skull. You're a retro gamer. No, you're not. Yes, I am. I'm just horrible at Adventure Island. Okay. This is going to be a bit ridiculous. So, man. Totally bombed that. Another thing that we're looking to do to improve our website design is actually including a knowledge base. Right now, we have our FAQ page. I'm going to go ahead and call it quits on the playing of the games here, just because it's so horrible and making myself look really silly. So with that knowledge base, essentially it's going to expound upon what we have with the FAQ page. The FAQ page has kind of become a bit unruly. It served its purpose when we started. We know that as the community grows and as our builds grow, it's just not something that's scalable. So we're going to be working on implementing a knowledge base into the website. We don't have an ETA right now. We actually had a member of the community step up, and we had some interviews with him, and things were looking good to actually have him as our web developer. However, he has not had the ability to, just due to scheduling and other stuff going on in his personal life, to start working on this with us. But we are hoping that he will be able to engage in the not too distant future. We want to see about getting that knowledge base in place and built out and as robust as possible. The last thing for the website is that I have plans to integrate a controller compatibility page and distinguishing that between boards. Each one of the boards are running on different kernels. We, of course, have people come in that are new to the community, and this is actually something that I have to say that we've failed to do, and we really should have implemented a very long time ago. And I must apologize on behalf of all of us, but we will see about getting that added. I don't have an ETA on that either. However, after I get the system supported page overhauled, hopefully here soon, I am going to make a point of actually looking at it again, probably the beginning of next week. Then I can go ahead and take a look at that controller compatibility page and see how we're going to design it and get it posted up. And we will be using feedback from our team internally, and then also what we get provided from the community at large. So we'll probably put out a request. I'm not sure if we're going to do it through Discord or if we're going to do through Facebook or both, but we would like to get that feedback. So I'm going to figure out how to put out a survey. Maybe we'll just end up turning it into a poll where people can actually add their own entries on Facebook or else in Discord, but I do need to get that figured out for sure. Talking about Discord, our Facebook page has been growing by leaps and bounds. The Discord has also been growing. However, our Discord is roughly sitting at half of what our Facebook community is. We we understand that Discord can be daunting for some people. Tapping into the resources and the knowledge from different folks on our team and then also our affiliates is definitely going to be a lot stronger if you're willing to join our Discord server. We have only a few public channels, so hopefully it wouldn't be too confusing. You can essentially think of a channel in a way on Discord as like, let's say, a section in a forum, right? If you've ever used the traditional PHP forums, some people have requested that we introduce a forum. However, after a lot of discussion and also discussing through the team, we feel like Discord is kind of like an evolution of the traditional forum. You join a server, it's kind of like going to a website, and then you get to see certain channels, and those channels are like different sections or topics that you can discuss. Discord's search functionality is really robust. It's an amalgamation of chat and also like a traditional forum and an evolution of those. We do ask that you join our Discord, come in, say hello. If you haven't been there before, we've got a public chat where it's pretty much, as long as it's not anything vulgar, same rules apply as Facebook group. You can come into public chat and it's kind of like talk about anything you want. You want to talk about anything regarding emulation or PCs and just anything, as long as it doesn't get into political, religious, turning into a situation where, it's a bashing session or anything. That's where that public chat is. And then, we've got our help channel, which that's where you go specifically to request help on Discord. And you may not see responses from us on the team, but there's been plenty of folks in the community that have been really awesome in providing information. Strongly suggest that, or highly suggest that, if you join a Discord server and you go to the help channel, make sure that you use the search function first before just asking questions that could have possibly been answered even several times. There's pinned posts in there too, so you can click on the little pin and you can see pinned posts. We have our announcements channel, and that's where we do announce a lot of different things that's valuable for the community. That includes updates that we have going on, or if we've noticed any bugs or anything. We also have the Useful Links channel, and the Useful Links channel is specifically about links that we find useful that we can provide to the community, be it informational, it could be about different sales or things going on, etc. We have the Oasis, and that is a place where you go to discuss all your builds. And people have posted up photos of their different builds with their XU4s. It's not just limited to the XU4 or one of our boards. If you have a cabinet that has a gaming PC, you can share that too there. It's all about builds and just what the community is doing and some cool stuff. There's also a channel in there for kind of like the homebrew scene and regarding modifications for hacks, ROM hacks, things like that. So, we do try to stay on the up and up, and so, but at the same time, there's nothing illegal about the hacks, and we do have a few community members that have actually actively been working on different hacks. So I'm going to go ahead and call it quits. I've been rambling on enough. Hope that you found this episode to be informative. You get to watch me fumble around with this for a bit. I apologize that it may not have been put together as cleanly as I'd like. However, I really wanted to get this out the door. I've got a lot of stuff going on, taking up a whole ton of my time in my personal life right now, and I've had to postpone this last few weeks because of it. And so I wanted to be sure that I just went ahead and got it knocked out. So it's not really scripted, it's just kind of off the cuff here. We want to definitely say thank you to all those that contribute in the community, be it through creating new themes, providing information for others, being a community, and it's growing, and that's great. We definitely, of course, as well want to say thank you to all of our affiliate developers out there, be it emulation or operating system level, things like that. Obviously, you're one of the cogs in the machine, and without you, either the machine would go really slow or much slower than what it has, or else we may not have even gotten anywhere close to where we are. And then, of course, there are our donators, our supporters, and our Patreons. You're what helps make this continue to go every month. We have various costs that are associated because we don't have advertisements on our websites or anything like that. We don't believe in that. We might actually have to take a look at maybe integrating some stuff just to add in some additional revenue because development costs, hardware, picking up different bits and bobs for testing and so forth. Obviously it all costs money. And through these different donations that we get, not just through Patreon, we've had direct donators through PayPal, and we've actually even had donators through Facebook. And everybody that supports us financially, you help keep the machine moving and help allow us to do what we do. So a sincerest thank you to that and to those of you out there. So once again, happy gaming, have a great day, and we'll talk to you again soon.